She was 17 when someone said the only honest thing anyone ever said to her about love. 1 year later, he was gone. She has been living inside that conversation ever since. But before I say anything else, I want to ask you this question. Think about the person who has made you feel the most like yourself. Not the one you love the most, not the one that hurt you the most. The one in whose presence you recognized yourself. Hold that person in your mind, because I think by the end of this, you'll think about them differently. In this story, there was a man. He heard what the town was saying about his daughter. He didn't go to the town. He went to her. He called her into his office, not the kitchen, not the living room, his office, like she was someone worth a serious conversation with. She was 17. He said, "I know you see a lot of people. Just protect yourself. Don't get pregnant. That will complicate things." Then he stood up, hugged her, kissed her, and said, "I am proud of you. I love you." 1 year later, he was dead. That girl was me. I needed to understand what that conversation meant inside the life I was living at 17. The town had already a name for me. I was sneaking out at night. I was seeing boys after school. I was feeling things the church had a specific word for. What nobody understood, what I didn't even understand yet, was that I was lost in the most alive way a person can be. I was sitting across multiple people, trying to catch a glimpse of something in myself I couldn't yet see alone. Each person a different kind of light, each one showing me a different room inside myself I didn't know it existed. I was not looking for sex. I was looking for myself. I just didn't have language for that. So the world used its language instead. My father was the only person who looked at all of that and didn't reach for a name. He just said, "Be careful. I love you." The way you speak to someone you actually believe in. He was gone at 18. I got married at 21 to a good man, to a genuinely good man. I want to be careful here because this is not a story about a failed marriage. It was real. It had tenderness and arguments and a daughter and 12 years of building something true together. But somewhere inside that life, there was a version of me who had been 17 once, who had loved in a way the world had no clean word for, who had needed many people to light many different rooms. She had gone very quiet, not because anyone silenced her specifically, because that is what we learn to do. We learn what fits, we learn what the story is supposed to look like, and we become very good at living inside it. Until we can't. 12 years into my marriage, I met someone. I had a daughter at home, life that looked from the outside exactly like the script. I didn't go looking for it. It arrived the way true things arrive, without asking for permission. That night, I came home and I told my husband the truth. No rehearsal, no plan, just my heart running slightly ahead of everything else. I was terrified. I want you to know that. I was terrified and I still said it. I met someone, I told him. I have feelings for this person. I don't know what they are. I want to explore it and I'm open to staying. The silence after those words was the heaviest thing I ever held. I was shaking inside. I can still feel today how I was shaking. I didn't leave the room. I wanted to hold him. I wanted to be there for what I had just handed him. I still loved him. So I stayed. 4 months after that, I stayed. Because telling the truth doesn't mean abandoning the person who has to hear it. Maybe silence would have saved the marriage. I'll never know. But my father didn't teach me silence. He taught me something much harder. He taught me that people who love you don't ask you to disappear in order to be loved. They see what's there. They say, "Be careful. I love you." And then they let you live. I fell in love in December with a man I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. I was pregnant by June. I broke my father's rule. When my second daughter was born, I thought of him. the way I always think of him, not with guilt, but with grief. With that specific grief that has no clean name either. He would have loved shit out of those girls like no other man could. Or so I thought. My mother had remarried, and I watched my stepfather love on my girls. The way he held them, the way he saw them. And for the first time, I understood something I had been too close to see before. This is how he loved me. This whole time. This is exactly how he loved me. I just needed to watch him love someone I loved to finally feel it. There are people in your life who have been seeing you clearly for a very long time. And sometimes you only know it when you watch them see someone you love. So here's what I keep coming back to. We talk about modern love like a menu. Trad wife, open relationship, situationship, E&M, solo living, conscious uncoupling. We debate the containers as if the container is the problem. It isn't. I think the problem is most of us have never stopped to ask what we are actually looking for inside of all of them. And when I trace my own life, my father, my marriage, the men I fell in love with, the relationships before and after, the 18 months I eventually spent in celibacy, I keep arriving at the same answers. The ones that have been underneath all of it. Was I loving them? Yes. Was I also meeting myself through them? Also yes. And I do not think that makes the love less real. I think it just makes it human. My father gave me that at 17. It cost him nothing. It cost me 20 years to understand what he had given me. And what I know now, what all of this has slowly taught me, is that love was never supposed to cost you yourself. It is supposed to set you free. Free to be so present to who you are that another person's light becomes a gift instead of a necessity. Free to let them see you, finally, without hiding the parts that got you named at 17. Free to let love call parts of you forward that you cannot reach alone. And free to shine back, to see them, to call parts of them forward that nobody else reaches. That is not the love I was taught, but this is the love I am learning. And I am not completely there yet, I can admit that. But I am closer than I've ever been. And I think that's worth talking about. So tell me something. That person, the one you thought of at the beginning of this video, the one whose presence you most recognize yourself in, what did they see in you that you couldn't see yet alone? And are you still waiting for someone like that to show you? Or have you started to show yourself? This is part 1 of a 5-episode series on marinating. This is part 1 of a 5-episode series on marinating in modern relationships. Marinating? This is part 1 of a 5-episode series on marinating in modern relationships. See what I did there? In my next video, I'm going to tell you about couples I met in Netherlands, married, living in separate houses on purpose, and why, when I first heard that, something in me went very quiet. I was angry almost. Like I had been asking a question my whole life, and someone had just told me there were other possible answers. I will see you there.